This is a heavy quilted hoodie. I have no idea if this is going to work or not. And I know that I'm going to piss off neighbors. So I'm doing this for you guys. We're going to find out. I'm going to start it up on this one. Try both windows down. Man, I don't know, this thing's heavy. We'll see. This is a heavy quilted hoodie.
Remorse or fear that it absolutely will not stop. Ever. Dude, that's cool. It just barely did it, but it floated this heavy ass hoodie. That's pretty good, man. This is a thick quilted thing, dude. Wow. That's impressive. All right, so this is the project, the next project. We want to wall this off. And we got a pretty good gap up here. Got a gap over there, and you can't count on this for being solid. So we're probably going to pull this off.
Okay.
And then wall it, and then what I would say is to pull this off and then wall it, and then cut this to fit back against it.
Okay.
But that's one way of looking at it. But I don't know, I might have to do some thinking. I don't know if y'all ever saw the lights I had in here. I've got them set to blue right now. There's one in each corner back here. You can't see that one. And then one underneath the seat there, aiming at the floorboard. I can do any color or pattern, or have them work to the music and all that. But they look cool. They give me just a little bit of ambiance in here. So some of you guys have questioned how I do the tablet thing. So I'm going to show you. All right, so first of all, I got this 90-degree plug in that I can plug into my C-port right here. And then you see there's two cables running to the glove compartment. I got the other plug run down here to a always on, always hot plug. No matter whether the key's on or nothing, it don't matter. This is always hot. And that keeps the tablet charged 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. In the glove box, just laying in here, I got this little guy. Now this is the other end of that wire, right? It runs into this device. And this device allows me to hook up the USB to the same port and to run a charger to that point. So this one is the charger, and right here, that little tiny thing with the ring in it is a USB pen drive. So it allows me to run a USB and charge with the same port. I put this in the glove box. That's where my music is stored at. And then whenever, I've also got music stored on the tablet as well, but I can change it out with this. A little pen drive will hold 50 some odd gigs of 60 gigs, I think, music, which is a lot of MP3s. Now, if you want to emulate this in some way, form, or fashion, you're going to want a cord that comes down like this and plugs in the side. If you have one that's sticking in this way, the cord will vibrate up and down and will destroy your Type-C plug and also cut in and out and stuff. You need one that runs this direction, and you need a pretty thick cable so that it's nice and stable and doesn't move when everything in here is jumping up and down with the bass. And the same thing on the other end. You want that 90 degree on the other end on your charging cable, because you want it to also be flush with the trim and not be hanging out like this, jiggling up and down. That's very important. Now, you can route those into the console or wherever you want them to go. I just have mine stuck in the glove box. So for the next question is, how do I connect the tablet to the amplifiers? Well, that's easy. The tablet has a Bluetooth broadcaster, same as you would use for a pair of Bluetooth headphones. Same way you'd use your phone to broadcast to a radio, I use the tablet to broadcast. I'll show you how we receive that. So that tablet's Bluetooth radio is being received by this Audio Dynamics Hi-Fi DS-P68. It's 6 in, 8 out Hi-Fi DSP. It's really nice, but there's a lot of DSPs out there that can do this job. This is just the one that I have, and it's a pretty high dollar rig. Give you a little shot. It's got the optical in, coax in, all that. But I'm only using none. Notice none of these inputs are being used because I'm inputting via DSP. Down here, I have the 8 channels out. Actually, I'm only using 6 channels of it, but I have 6 of the channels out going to my mids and highs amps and my 2 big subwoofer amps. But that's where I send the signal to, is the DSP receiver in there, the Bluetooth receiver in the DSP. And then we turn it into bass. So I got my pen drive unplugged right now. I just put it in my pocket because I'm gonna put some more songs on here. But if I wanted to play something, I can go in here and pull out a song. I just click on it and it starts playing. And I control the volume with a DSP volume controller, and I can control the subwoofer output with this bass knob. And then I turn the whole thing on and off, the stereo system, with this switch. Now, I've talked about this 100 times, but I know there's going to be people watching this video that ain't seen any of my other videos. So I'm going to quickly run through what I'm powering everything with. For my subwoofers, I'm powering 2 each. 2 subs per amp. I have 2 amps, and they're 2 Slapz Shock 8Ks. I have 1 8K per 2 subs, playing at 1 ohm on 2 subs, and the other one is playing at 1 ohm on the other 2 subs. For my mids and highs, I'm running the Slapz Shock 2K.4 for my door, my big speakers on my door, and for my tweeters on my doors. And then I'm running a small Slapz 160.4 mini. I think it's a 160.4. Anyway, I'm running that on 3-inch Audio Dynamic mid-ranges on my A-pillars. All of that, of course, is running through the Audio Dynamics DSP. Now, the Shock 2K.4 2 channels are playing these 2 speakers, this one and the big one over there. The other 2 channels are playing the 2 tweeters over there and over there. The mini 4 channel is only using 2 channels to play these 2, this guy right here and the one over there. The tweeter up here isn't on.
So just the 3-inch mid-range. And I have the other 2 channels of the mini bridged, I forgot about this one, which are playing, you guys can't see it, but there's a JL 10-inch sub and a tiny sealed enclosure underneath my dash there in my console. That is handling the low mids alongside these guys, and then the tweeters, and then these guys are handling the upper mids to give my soundstage a kick up in the higher end. And then the subwoofers are 4 Slapz Oblivion 15s. These are the version 2 15s in a obviously custom built wall, and we're doing about 2,500 to 3,000 watts on each one. And after box rise, and I rebuilt this whole thing this winter, extended the port, I'm tuned to about 28 hertz, 28 or 29, somewhere in that range. My vehicle's peak is around 36 hertz. So that's where I get the loudest on the glass, right about where my finger is right there. When I have a meter up there, I play at 36 hertz. And all the power, forgive me, all the power is coming from 2 Trunk Thunder Lithium 10K version 2s. These are the same cells that are in the version 3. The build is different, but they're the same exact cells in the version 3. If you want to pick up these Trunk Thunder Lithium 10Ks, you can use my discount code CAE10 to save 10% off the purchase price, and there's some really wicked batteries. If you want to pick up the Slapz amplifiers, go over to slapz.com, SLAPZ, just like that, and use my discount code CAE for 10% off there. As far as what's under the hood, I am using, just for the car audio part of it, a Team GP 370 amp alternator that is separated from the rest of the car, and it's only power in the car audio. I have a 300 amp alternator that runs the rest of the vehicle, and I'm using just that one 370 amp alternator by itself, doing nothing but car audio on the car audio system. And the only batteries in the car audio system are the 2 that I showed you in the back. If you enjoyed this crazy ass content, and if you want to see all the other stuff that we're doing to this Tahoe, and all the stuff that I've already done to it, and multiple different builds, and all the different parts of this build, be sure and slap that subscribe button down below. Because we keep it real, we do budget friendly stuff, and big budget friendly stuff on this channel. Other people's stuff, we work on other people's builds, we do all kinds of cool stuff. If you don't want to miss out on real world basehead shit, I'm out here in a garage. I got a barbecue grill over there, and yes, I do barbecue on that sucker, but I work in the garage. I'm not in some fancy shop someplace with CNC machines and all that. I got a jigsaw and a skill saw and a random few hand tools, and that's how we build everything. So if you're like me and you're just a regular dude with a bunch of junk and you want to make something loud and not spend a lot of money, you're at the right place. Peace, guys.